All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. And I want to thank you all for joining us tonight and taking time to hear about a new discovery that we found out. Actually, Bobby and I found out about this, I guess it's about 4.5 years ago now. And little background on us. We had been in the wellness industry for 25 years before even finding out about this discovery. And the even more amazing thing is we worked closely with lots and lots of physicians. That was our business, bringing nutritional products into physician offices, and kind of did a turnkey program with them and taught them how to sell the products and, make, ancillary or supplemental income doing that. And so that was our business. So you would think we were pretty well versed as far as when it talks about nutrition and supplementation and stuff. In fact, with that company, we had done over $200 million in sales. So lots and lots of sales. But this discovery, like I said, we found out about 4.5 years ago. And really what I'm going to talk about is the difference between activation and supplementation. And you may already supplement. I mean, you can raise your hand or just let me know if you take a multivitamin, or maybe you take some vitamin D's or C's, particularly with this pandemic or virus that's going around. A lot of people that normally don't even use any kind of supplementation or direct antioxidants are starting to do that. But we're going to talk about a new discovery that is, a huge step beyond what we call supplementation. And so this all began with a single question that a doctor had that, is declining health something we must accept as we get older, or as we age? And so in a lab, he found out, and this was back in the 60s, and this is something that really only, scientists and medical professionals really knew about. But he found out that our bodies, and this may be the first time you're hearing this, so this is the first aha moment that we heard. He found out that our bodies actually create antioxidants. I had never known that before. In fact, he found out that when we get into our 20s, our bodies stop creating these antioxidants, and therefore aging starts in your 20s now. And so, that was huge. That was a huge discovery. A lot was written about that. Again, in the scientific medical field, most of us heard nothing about it, although he was awarded a lot of the Elliott Cresson Awards, which is really kind of a who's who when you get into discoveries like this. In fact, his discovery here, this whole thing had the most impact one year on the human life. And that was the award he got for that. So big, big discovery there. But like I said, it stopped working in our 20s. Our body no longer threw off this antioxidants. And so that's why previously we supplemented to add antioxidants to our body to hopefully fight disease. This has always been of interest to me. And, very early on, I took care of my grandmother, as she got older. And they say the last 10 years of our life, we're usually dependent on either family, pharmaceutical drugs, medical aids. We are dependent on things. Those last 10 years, they're not kind years. They're not good years. And that's what I really wanted to prevent, because like I said, I took care of my grandmother, in and out of nursing homes. And then ultimately, didn't know who I was, feeding tubes, diapers, an end you wouldn't want for anyone. So I have always been very proactive in this approach. And I have the other example of my husband's grandma who went around the house. There's 9 kids. She literally labeled everything in the house so there'd be no fighting, sat down in a chair and passed. And that's how, amazing that was. So, I have those two things, and I really want to be very much like my husband's grandma. But what's really cool is this scientist went back to the lab for a couple decades, actually. And he found out how to flip the switch on this aging pathway so that our bodies can again create all these antioxidants. And the benefits are huge. The science is amazing. And I'm going to start to go through some of that with you. But, this is actually activation as far as the pathway that produces these antioxidants is NRF2 activation. And when we flip the switch on this aging process, we turn on good genes and we turn off bad genes. Okay. And so, we really start to control about 80% of our health. We have full control based on using products like this, based on, foods we eat, exercise, those type of things. Now, the first theory that this is actually called oxidative stress, is what the disease term or the medical term for it is. And what happens is, as we age and this pathway stops working in our 20s, the amount of free radicals we have through exercise, microwave environments, cell phones greatly increases. And then what happens is, you can see we get a very much disease looking cell. And so that's the cause of inflammation, disease, and aging. And this term is called oxidative stress. So really, it's the difference between all these free radicals and the amount of antioxidants, vitamin C's, D's, fruits and vegetables that we can take in. So he created this product called Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. And what it does is it reduces that oxidative stress by 40% in the first 30 days. And this is huge, the impact this has had. It actually creates the body to produce more than 1 million times per second the antioxidant value. Now, if you've watched the news at all lately, they talk about increasing glutathione and how that is directly related to, our immune system and staying healthy and fighting all the diseases and pandemics that are going on. So if we can increase this glutathione, we can stay healthier. Protandim increases it by some 300%. Now, the flip side of that is, it is not easy to increase your levels of glutathione, your master antioxidant. In fact, there are people that literally go to medical spas to get IV injections to try to increase it. People take pills, try to increase it. It doesn't work anywhere near as Protandim. And again, this is all medically studied. Because this is so exciting, you better believe we better have patents, because everyone would love to duplicate this system, especially when you realize how simple it is. It's really just a plant-based ingredients. The 5 plant-based ingredients are turmeric, sorry, that was my watch, were turmeric, milk thistle, green tea, ashwagandha, and bacopa. So 5 plant-based ingredients. And funny enough, Bobby and I were actually on 3 of the 5 ingredients. And we could have just said, you know what, let's just add 2 more. We'd already been taking turmeric, green tea, and ashwagandha. We could have said, well, you know what, let's just add the bacopa, milk thistle, and call it a day and take 5 pills instead of 1. I've always would rather take 1, but take the 5 pills. But you know what, it didn't work that way. By using his recipe, his 1 little pill, his synergistic combination there, we get 1,800% better results using his formulation than if I tried to take all 5 pills individually. Okay, so in order to get the equivalent that we get from this 1 little pill, I would need to ingest every day on a daily basis 11 pounds of blueberries, 375 oranges, 120 tablets of vitamin C, and drink 87 glasses of red wine. That's every day, day in, day out. At one point, I ran the cost on that. Probably cost somewhere around, $700 a day if I could ingest all this to get what I get from 1 little pill, 1 little yellow pill of the Protandim. Even more exciting is this works so effectively. So I told you at age 20, this pathway typically for most people just stops working. It stops throwing off all those antioxidants. And then without it, we have disease, inflammation, and just aging. But using the Protandim, for every month that we're on it, we reduce a whole decade of oxidative stress. So much so that if I took an 80-year-old who'd been on Protandim for 8 months, a 60-year-old who'd been on Protandim for 6 months, a 40-year-old who'd been on Protandim for 4 months, and a 20-year-old, I could not tell whose blood was that originally of the 20-year-old. They would all appear to have the blood of when they were 20 years old. So that's just so exciting to me. The NIA, the National Institute of Aging, did a study that showed that Protandim extends life by about 7%. Very exciting there too. But this is not my opinion. I can remember with our previous company and the nutritional products that we use, supplements, it really was my opinion. How much C, how much D, it's based on what I read, I heard, somebody passed on to me. But here, there's a site called pubmed.gov. And if you're not familiar with that, anybody can go to it. But typically only doctors and scientists go to it. And it's really for pharmaceutical drugs. They want to know the interactions, cautions, and warnings. Well, there are some 250,000 studies on oxidative stress on this site. So you can actually go there, put in oxidative stress and anything, disease, aging, inflammation you might be interested in. In fact, if you put in Protandim, the name of the product, you'll see that there are over 30 plus studies directly on the product itself. Doesn't happen ever with a nutritional product, probably not a lot of times with even drugs, but this product itself has over 30 studies directly related to the use of the product and not the ingredients, which is so often what you hear. There are large universities, Ohio State, Harvard, Florida University, Colorado. I mean, we can go on and on with the studies, like I said, behind this, the National Institute of Health. But very interesting, Washington State University, once they did their study, they said the health effects of NRF2, which is this oxidative stress, which is Protandim, it's that pathway, may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. The second theory we have is that of mitochondria. And mitochondria, if you're not familiar with that, is really ATP. It's the energy we have at a cellular level. And we have lots and lots of this mitochondria. But what's sad is by the time we get to midlife, we've already reduced about half of it. And it really is responsible for, slowing down the aging and having our cells repair themselves in a quality fashion. And we need all this mitochondria, this energy, this ATP to, have our heart beat, our lungs inflate, deflate, our muscles move. So important. And again, every cell requires this mitochondria, but we are constantly damaging it, again, by cell phones, taking, Advil, ibuprofen type of things like that. But we can, with this formulation, Protandim NRF1, and the NRF1 and NRF2, there is no correlation in the pathways. But what this does is it actually slows down the aging process, improves sleep quality and cellular repair, supports cardiovascular and brain health. And it's just such a great product in combination with the NRF2. And you can see, again, all natural ingredients that, again, it's the synergistic effect or the recipe that he has put together that makes this so amazing. The last pathway of aging we're going to talk about is NAD, and this one is unbelievable. Not only can you feel it the very first time, but we get 100% activation, unlike any other product out there, in the first 24 hours. In fact, this is a pathway which really, it's just increasing a protein called sirtuins at a cellular level. And it is so valuable that for years, people have gone on severe calorie restricted diets, meaning somebody like me, it'd be 400 to 600 calories a day. That was it. In order to help regenerate these sirtuins, the benefits are huge. It can improve mental focus and concentration. It can support positive mood, motivation, libido, weight loss, mental or exercise, endurance, exercise recovery, mental and physical energy, inflammation, cholesterol, the vascular system. I can go on and on. Huge benefits with this product. It's a true to me, a true anti-aging product. So that's the NAD synthesizer. What's cool is a lot of times people will say, which of these three should I use? All the benefits sound so amazing. Which one should I start with? Well, I'll tell you, if you can, start with all three of them. Not only do you get a price break by buying them in a package, but there's patent pending science on it now that shows using all three of them together, we get 2,100% better results with each product. So those benefits are just magnified by being able to use all. And you're never too young to start this. Aging, is one of the hardest things to reverse. But if you can get on something like this earlier on, you won't have a lot of the inflammation, disease, and aging that a lot of people go through. And so, just a great product line there. But what's really cool is we also can tackle oxidative stress, that aging, from the outside as well. And we have a super clean product line here for hair and also skin. If you've not heard of the app called Think Dirty, you need to go there and check it out. And even more so, put anything that you currently have in the shower or the sink or a moisturizer in this app. And I tell you, it rates products from 0 to 10, 10 being the worst. You'll probably find out that most of the stuff you already have is probably 7, 8, 9, maybe a 10, stuff that really even proclaims to be clean and good for us. But you'll see our line 0 to 3, Most of it come right in at a 2. Very, very clean products for you. So important, you know, when you think your skin is your largest organ. We also have Axia, which is brain food, energy food, great for, you know, book work, school work, any kind of concentration, or for sports as well, anytime you want the edge there. And then lastly, we have Icy Bright. We've gotten tremendous testimonies. Someday, if we ever make this longer, we try to keep it at 30 minutes. Icy Bright actually has helping a lot with retina and macular degeneration, and people are you know, giving us testimonies that they're able to see better at night, better work with the concentration from the computers, because, you know, all this blue light at us is not good and it's hurting our eyes. So this is a great formulation for that as well. But, you know, some of the benefits, again, just recapped, or sleep quality, improves exercise, endurance, recovery, recuperation, vitality, increases overall energy, better mental focus, concentration, healthier hair, skin, and nails, like I said, weight loss, libido, and it really just slows down the aging process and restores your own blood to that of a 20-year-old, which is super, super exciting. So you can see these are category creating huge discovery that most people don't know about. But, you know, the backstory on the company is equally exciting, and I'm going to have my husband sit down and he's going to share that with you. So if you'll hold on just a minute. Thank you for your time.
Hey, good evening, everyone. You know, I've heard April talk about this stuff before, maybe once or twice, and I just can't get enough of it. I always just want to take more of it, you know. And if you missed or didn't quite get something that she said, what you just heard about is something that we call, you know, these are disruptive categories when it comes to anti-aging and just holistic products. You know, you've never seen anything like this before. These are activators. They're not supplements. Okay. And this is completely disrupting the industry, because it will eventually make supplements, you know, old news, you know, because what would you rather do? Supplement or reactivate your body to behave like it did when we were teenagers? You know, well, that's a no-brainer, you know, and the fact that all that science and all those studies are there. But let me tell you something, from a business standpoint, I'm going to give you a little background on the company, but this is the best kept secret in the world. It's one of the reasons that April and I came here. You know, we were with another company that was traditional nutritional company, you know, in this network marketing industry. And we were there the day they opened, and for 25 years to the day they closed. And they closed in October of 2017. It was a little over 4 years ago. And we were in this space. We were in this industry, and we'd never heard of this. Now, this company's only 12 years old, but they were around for 8 years while we were in the other company, and we'd never heard of it. And that is what got us excited, because we said, holy smokes. I mean, look at what these products are doing. Look how long people stay on them once they start them. All of these things just blow our mind, but nobody knew about it, you know, and we needed some business-minded people. We needed more distributors. We needed people to share the word out there and get the word out. So who is LifeVantage? You know, how did this thing start? Well, April told you it started with that doctor just making discovery after discovery and figuring out that there were pathways in our bodies that go inactive when we hit about 20 years of age, but were very capable of being reactivated, okay? And then that got patented, all right? But here's when the first thing really happened. ABC Primetime in 2005, we were not even a marketing company, okay? They heard about the product, this little yellow pill. They heard about the science. And if you've ever watched ABC Primetime Investigative Report, they're not generally reporting to report good stuff. They are normally reporting to identify a scam or something negative or something bad. Okay, that's generally what they're doing. And John Kayunis came in, and he still reports on TV today, and said, this is fascinating. slowing down aging, doing this, doing that. Check my blood, like take my blood and let me see what I'm going to use it. And let's see what it does for me. And here's what we can legally say, according to the government, okay? When used for 30 days, reduces oxidative stress by an average of 40% in people, okay? So the average is a 40% reduction in 30 days. Well, Kiyunis started using it. I guess he wanted to get this on the air. He wouldn't wait 30 days. He came in to get his blood rechecked in 2 weeks. And his oxidative stress had already gone down 55% in 2 weeks. Okay, who knows how much it would have gone down if he waited a month. And here's what happened, folks. You know, it's really funny how things come together. That investigative report that was supposed to be a gotcha kind of thing ended up becoming our commercial, proving and verifying what we had was the best kept secret in the world, and we needed to get it out to the world. That's what ended up happening. And before you know it, we're listed on the NASDAQ stock exchange under LFVN. We went from retail, you know, trying to sell stuff in pharmacies and GNC and vitamin stores to a direct sales plan in 2009. Now, why do you think we did that? Well, we had a market, we had a disruptive product, new science going into a market that nobody knew how to sell or explain. So it was one of those things that needed a bit of a testimony and explanation, and direct sales or network marketing is perfect for that. So we launched in business in 2009. We're 12 years old now. And we are now the leaders in the world in nutrigenomics. And if you've never heard of nutrigenomics, it's a science and of the way food and vitamins and the stuff that we ingest, okay, interact with our genes. And it has been proven, contrary to what we grew up believing, that the genes you're born with are the genes you're born with. You know, there's nothing you can do about it. And the fact of the matter is we can do something about 80% of those genes. We're really only stuck with 20% of them. So we are doing about $250 million a year now in sales. And one of the things I always like to mention, because of my age, I was a big fan of Erin Brockovich, the movie, you know, the one Julia Roberts was in, okay, but it was named Erin Brockovich. The real Erin Brockovich has been sitting on our board and is an investor in our company since 2019. So that's a little bit, okay, a little bit about LifeVantage as a company, but let me talk to you about the global picture. All right, right now, we're in 22 countries. Actually, it's 23 because we just opened the Philippines, okay, about 2 months ago. And actually, the product deliveries were just starting this week over there. But we have plans to go into 100 countries. So this isn't just going to be a United States thing. This is going to be a global thing. And anybody that you and I know or have connections to anywhere in the world are going to have an opportunity to share this wherever it is that they live. Pretty exciting if you're on the business side of this. Now, let me talk a little bit about the benefits of a business like this. And what I'd like you to do, if you don't mind, is just think back over the last 2 years and what we've been forced to deal with because of COVID and the pandemic and our government dictating, you know, what we can and can't do, and just living here, you know, for the last 2 years, whatever we had to put up with. Think about these benefits I'm about to mention and how helpful that would have been if you or all the people you know and love had access to something like this. See, we work from home, okay, or anywhere we happen to be, because the only thing that we need in order to do business anywhere in the world is a cell phone or a tablet or a laptop, okay? See, we socially share information by text or an app on our phone, okay? And we'll use social media and groups, you know, Facebook groups and stuff to share information. We have a virtual office to run our business. We don't need a physical office. We have a virtual office. There's minimal startup costs to get into business. There's no inventory requirements. Everything's drop shipped directly to the customer, kind of like the Amazon way. You know, you go online, click, 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 and on your doorstep, there it is, okay? So not only that, but we have our own personal online store, every one of us, okay? And it's in whatever language and country that you live in. So kind of neat. I want to talk to somebody in Japan. I click the Japanese flag, send them the link. They're seeing everything in Japanese. You know, it's really, really a cool system. Like I said, everything's being done online. And then look at the money. And I'm not going to get real specific with the money, but I just want you to understand that you and I, we have the opportunity not only to earn money, but to help others reclaim money that they might have lost or gain the security of creating a second or third stream of income so they don't have all their eggs in one basket should things ever head south again, okay? So I'm going to use 3 examples. You see the, excuse me, the 3 red arrows on the screen. And I'm not going to use, we use industry terms like Pro 3. Hey, a Pro 3 is just someone whose team or group of people is responsible for $5,000 worth of business. We call subscriptions going out monthly. So like that Tri-Synergizer that April was talking about, you know, the NRF1, NRF2, NAD, that, okay, that's about 50 of those, okay? It runs about 100 points. It's about 50 of those. Do you know anybody that would like an extra $600, $700 a month repetitively, you know, getting it over and over again because every time it ships, you get paid again? Look at the middle arrow, okay, or Pro 5. All that is 4 Pro 3s. See, that's 20,000 points. That's like 200 units going out between you and your entire team. And now you're looking at 3,000 to 4,000 a month, 35,000, 40,000 a year. You know, in a lot of cases, that would keep one spouse home to take care of the kids instead of paying for daycare or some special schooling. Look at the lifestyle that could create. Look at the changes and freedom that creates. Now, the third arrow, that where it's by Pro 7, 13,000, 14,000 a month. Hey, now you're talking like doctor money and a lot of other professions. You're getting into the hundreds of thousands a year, okay? And that's just 1,000 of those units a month going out. And not you being responsible for that. That could be 10 individuals that have 100 customers. It could be that simple. Now, April and I, in our 2nd year in the business, okay, hit Pro 8. Now, we had experience, okay? We didn't know anything about these products. We didn't know anything about this company, but we knew how to build a business in this particular industry, but it still happened in 2 years period of time, and we're working on the next level now. So I share that with you because what I'd like you to think about for the last few minutes that I got you is this a good business opportunity? And can I do this? Is this actually something that I could do along with whatever it is I already got going on, okay, in my life? Well, is it good? For starters, unique patented products that are only available through LifeVantage. Well, okay, that means we have no competition. Yeah, that's a good thing, okay? The products appeal to mass market, from children to geriatrics. Everybody gets benefits, and they're super affordable, very, very affordable, okay? Backed by reputable science that April just hit on a thread of the science that's available. If you are a science person and you like science, you will never run out of articles to read about what these products do. They're consumable and they're on a subscription model. What does that mean? That just means by being on a monthly shipment, a customer can save money and get free shipping. You'll get the product at a discount and get free shipping. So the real question is, can I do this? It's not, is it a good opportunity? It's clearly a good opportunity, okay? Can I do it? Well, let me ask you, can you use an app or text from your phone? See, if you already use an app and you're texting from your phone, you are already doing this business and just not getting paid for it, because that's all you need to be able to do, okay? We do business during the in-between times of our day. You know, every couple of weeks, we do one of these for 30 minutes, okay? But we're doing the same way you check Facebook and email and those other things with your phone. We're doing this business during the in-between times. And we use a simple ITT system. We invite people to take a look, okay, at a video or a Zoom. We share information with them, and then we have a teammate that helps verify or answer questions. It's a very simple system, and we still have a lot of that other traditional thing, where, we can gather for a meeting or a training, and we have incentive trips. We have all that, but the meat and potatoes of it is, if you know how to use a tablet, a laptop, or a cell phone, you can do this business and you can do it well. Now, how can you be supportive? Okay, we shared a lot of stuff with you in the last 29 minutes, okay? Well, you kind of got three options. You can activate your own health and be a customer. Doesn't cost anything to join. Our monthly subscriptions are at a discounted price at about 20% off. And like I said, shipping is free. So that, that's an option. You might have heard something about money that maybe is of interest to you. This is a legacy company. I love the fact that my children and grandchildren are going to get to inherit our monthly commissions when we're no longer here, okay? So maybe you have an interest in wanting to join us in the business and just share these unique products and help people change their lives. We all know people that were affected by COVID, by the pandemic, that were forced into situations they didn't like. We have an opportunity to help those people and share this with them. Okay, we can be a source of referrals. My first advice for you would be to be a referral to yourself. Okay, but if you're not interested in earning any money for whatever reason you may not, please be a source of referrals to the person that thought enough of you to share this information with you this evening. Okay, we would be very, very appreciative of that. And getting started is super easy. All you got to do is get back to or speak with the person that shared this information on this Zoom link with you. That's all you have to do. So last, we want to thank you. We know your time is valuable, okay? And you could be watching TV right now. You could be watching basketball, hockey. You could be doing something with the kids. We are very grateful that you've decided to give some of your time and be supportive tonight to whoever it was that invited you on. And I want to invite you personally into our Facebook group. It's called Lifespan Matters with Team Unity. The link is on there. The person that invited you can give you the link to it. And on and in that Facebook group, there are hundreds of different testimonies and information, science and studies about the products and how and what the products have helped. Okay. All the different things tied to inflammation, all the different things tied to what April was talking about. There's tons of stuff in the group. And again, the person who invited you could give you that. But I want to stop sharing the screen so I could properly say good night and thank you for being here. So let me do that. I love looking at those faces, okay? There is just something about Zoom when those, I call it, you guys are the Hollywood squares, you're the stars. Remember that show? I'm aging myself now. I just had a birthday. I'm 62 years old, believe it or not. But I remember that show and it used to crack me up how they're all stacked up, in squares. And Zoom kind of reminds me of that, okay? It just kind of does. But if you don't mind, would you please, as soon as I end the Zoom and we say goodnight, reach back to the person who shared this with you and let them know you were on, and let them know if you're interested in using the product, if you want to learn more about the business, or if you still have some questions that need to be answered. Just kind of A, B, or C. Just let them know where you are with it. And honestly, just thank them for thinking enough of you to invite you on, because what was shared with you is very valuable and you can apply it down the road in many different ways in your life. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate you giving us your time this evening. And if there's anything we can do or answer questions for you, you can easily reach us, whether on Facebook or get our numbers from the guests that invited you. So how about everybody wave goodnight? Have a great evening, everyone.